waterways, and that will
strategies is vital in tackling multifaceted and dynamic security challenges, Nigerian Army re-echoes. Akwa Ibom State localizing marine and blue economy to boost economic growth.
we will construct our waterways, put ferries on the waterways, and that will be our own pride and our joy.
Federal government settles thousands of renewed hope employment beneficiaries across Nigeria.
Hoping that we can settle for material we can be able to get for other 9,000 beneficiaries.
It's the news desk at 3 and we are live in Abuja on NTA News 24. I'm Comfort Amadu. Good to have you join us. The Nigerian Army has continued to evolve strategies across its various commands to tackle the multifaceted and dynamic security challenges in some parts of the country. Chief of the Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, disclosed this at a 5-day first senior command and leadership seminar 2025 in Lafia. Achigile Magaji reports that the Chief of the Army Staff was representing
and leadership within a joint environment. The seminar is expected to provide a platform for participants to share experiences from their various commands and areas of operations and generate innovative strategies to combat and overcome insecurity. Chief of the Army Staff, who commended the dedication of officers in the task of securing the country, assured them of adequate support in terms of welfare and logistics.
As you all know, this senior command and leadership seminar is a crucial platform designed to equip our operational commanders and senior military leaders.
I therefore wish to thank the Chief of Army Staff and Army Headquarters Department of Training for this wonderful opportunity that will assist to build the capacity and ability of commanders to address some of the gaps in operating in a joint and multi-agency environment.
Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State, who was represented by the Deputy Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, noted that the robust synergy between the Nigerian Army and the Nasarawa State government will be sustained.
The theme resonates with the commitment of our President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, to address the security challenges bedeviling this country through intelligent approach and joint operation for socio-economic activities to thrive.
The seminar, which was put together by the 4th Special Forces Command of the Nigerian Army Doma, in conjunction with the Army Headquarters, has papers presented in the areas of strategies intelligence and multi-agency collaboration, among others. Atigili Magaji, NTA News.
In a bid to enhance the ease of doing business in Nigeria and streamline interactions with the nation's business community, the Nigerian Customs Service is set to transit to a more user-friendly digital platform aligned with international best practices. Aminu Umar reports that the initiative was the focus of a capacity-building workshop organized by the Kano Jigawa Area Command aimed at preparing key players for the anticipated transition.
Enhancing the ease of doing business in Nigeria by eliminating obstacles for the business community remains a top priority for the federal government. As part of this effort, the Nigeria Customs Service is leveraging its human resources to develop an innovative platform designed to streamline operations. To ensure smooth transition, key players in the business sector were brought together for a training on how the new system will function ahead of its rollout.
On the network, and the transaction will be seamless than the other platform we were doing before. So we expect it to be far better than the one we are using before.
The controller of Kano Jigawa Area Command, Alhatu Abubakar, stated that the Unified Customs Management System is Nigeria's indigenous platform aimed at creating a single national data window, ensuring accuracy and transparency in transactions.
We invited stakeholders, clearing agents, terminal operators, so that we can be on the same page, because we are on the verge of rolling out switching up NICIS2 in Kano and linking up with BODOGO anytime soon.
For importers, clearing agents and other stakeholders, the expectation is that the new platform will enhance efficiency and deliver optimal results once fully implemented. In Kano, Aminu Umar, NTA News.
While ocean transport drives 90% of Africa's trade, the continent's stake in global shipping fleet is remarkably low. And with the world going green, Africa is charting its course towards more sustainable maritime future. Vivian Eziadife takes a look at this and other business issues.
Industry players believe Africa's maritime sector has immense potential, despite the continent owning less than 2% of global ships. Africa's numerous ports, however, offers a significant opportunity for development, particularly in creating a green corridor across the continent. This corridor could facilitate Africa's industrialization by attracting global funds and investments. To achieve this goal, Africa must transition from extractive industries to partnering with the global community, emphasizing its commitments to sustainability and decarbonization. They insist decarbonization extends beyond shipping, requiring a comprehensive approach.
In our ports, there are green corridor opportunities where across Africa we green corridor the African perimeter. As we know, Africa is a coastal island, to develop green corridors so that we're contributing to green shipping and greening ports, but we are also building capacity. Jobs, capacity building our seafarers, so people that operate ships, for example, we need to be able to capacity build them. Because in this particular transition, technology of ships will change. And when technologies change, education needs to change. The syllabus, the curriculum for how to operate electric cars, for example, is different from how do you operate a petrol car. So because these changes are happening, we need to reflect that in the people that work in this sector. There's also the technology side. We need technology partnerships with other countries, especially the developed world. We need some kind of partnership between many ports that have upgraded, they're already greening, they're operating sustainably. How can we learn from our international partners?
Africa relies on shipping, and when they are planning to reduce a levy in shipping, that will impact on the freight rates. And when the freight rates now affect our trade, it's important that we know what exactly is going on. But Africa is also part of the whole world where the climate change is impacting on us on very wild changes in the rainfalls and the drought, and all these are coming from the climate change. So as IMO looks into how to address the climate change issues, we have a voice also to speak because some measures can also not be very beneficial to us. Some measures can have very adverse effects. So if you're not there on the table to know what is it being done and how then to bring your issues across, then it is not good.
In another development, the federal government has revealed that addressing Nigerians' housing deficit of over 28 million units will require an annual investment of $6.25 billion. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, emphasized the need for collaborative efforts between the government and private sector to deliver 500,000 housing units annually over the next decade. Dangiwa noted that over 70% of Nigerians' 43 million housing units fail to meet basic standards. To address this challenge, the government is implementing the Renewed Hope Housing Program and the National Urban Renewal and Slum Upgrade Program, emphasizing the importance of public-private partnership in achieving housing and urban development. With business, Vivian Izadifi.
All right, a bill to alter the 1999 Constitution as amended to specify the immunity conferred on the President has passed second reading at the House of Representatives, and the bill also proposes removal of immunity conferred on the Vice President as well as state governors and their deputies, with the objectives of curbing corruption, eradicating impunity and enhancing accountability in public office. This was among 42 constitution alteration bills that passed second reading at Wednesday's plenary, covering devolution of powers, state creation, citizenship, rights and strengthening of institutions, and local government administration. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ipen reports that other bills that scaled the second reading include proposals to separate the offices of the Attorney General of the Federation from the Minister of Justice, as well as to empower state governments' mandate for the creation and funding of local governments. Akwa Ibom State is joining other states of the Federation to adopt and localize the marine and blue economy policy of the federal government. And Clement Barikui reports that trade, tourism, fisheries, energy and industrial development are receiving the needed infrastructure boost to support this initiative.
State boasts of a 129-kilometer coastline stretching from Ikalabasi in the west to Oron in the east, featuring captivating coastal areas, mangrove forests and sandy beaches. These natural endowments, which before now were not given the desired attention, were left in the hands of private individuals, mostly fishermen and transport operators, who battled to survive in the midst of challenges, particularly sea pirates. With the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu turning attention to the marine sector and the state government keying into it, there is hope for the men and women who earn a living from the sea.
In fact, among what he inaugurated is a 2-ship, which is still coming down here. The jetty will be around and a floating jetty. So we are happy for His Excellency and what he's doing.
What we are facing here is sea pirate. So we are asking the state government to come and assist us, to come to our aid.
The state government is matching words with action, and this has manifested in the springing up of several infrastructures in the marine and blue economic sector.
We will construct our waterways, put ferries on the waterways, and that will be our own pride and our joy.
Going by the government's plans, many residents believe the future for blue economy is bright, and trade, fisheries, as well as tourism will soon bounce back, thereby contributing to the nation's gross domestic earnings. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
The drive of the federal government to create more employment opportunities for unskilled and unemployed is gaining more attention with the resettlement of thousands of beneficiaries of the Renewed Hope Employment Initiative with soft loan facilities and starter packs across the country. Minister of State, Labour and Employment describes this initiative as a major pillar in economic rejuvenation of the current administration. Details with Joseph Otsen.
These are the beneficiaries of the Renew Hope Employment Initiative from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. They are among the more than 5,000 across the country that will be presented with starter packs and loan facilities.
Therefore, to translate these skills into sustainable and decent livelihoods, beneficiaries must be supported with necessary tools, equipment, and financial resources to kickstart their ventures. This is why today's resettlement exercise is a crucial milestone in our collective journey toward economic empowerment.
The scheme was flagged off in December 2024 with not less than 33,000 youth, women and persons with disabilities undergoing 3 months training in entrepreneurship and business management, agricultural skills and activities in public works.
This administration has prioritized job creation and economic empowerment as fundamental pillars of the Renew Hope agenda.
I've learned much. But even when you give me solar panel, I can mount it in a good way.
We are hoping that we can settle for material we can be able to get for other 9,000 beneficiaries from Ministry of Humanitarian. And the others we are reaching to the Bank of Industry and the Bank of Agriculture, our other financial institutions, where we are going to make this list available to the banks.
The resettlement was carried out simultaneously in other parts of the country, with states like Rivers and Cross River states reporting thousands of beneficiaries from the first tranche.
We have been looking for ample opportunity like this, where we, the vulnerable group and disadvantaged group, will be empowered to be self-employed.
261 that will benefit from Cross River.
The second phase of the exercise, NDE says, will commence immediately as it targets to impact over 90,000 in 3 years. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Thank you for that report. Let's take a quick break. More reports ahead.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary healthcare center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
The First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, is reaffirming her commitment to the welfare of vulnerable citizens with a donation of food items in Delta State under the Renewed Hope scheme. Becky Greatman Chukwuka reports that the wife of the Vice President and National Vice Chairman Renewed Hope Initiative, Nana Shetima, made the donations in Government House, Asaba.
In a bid to ensure a better life for Nigerian families, the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and her Renewed Hope Initiative team were in Delta State to put smiles on the faces of the vulnerable in the state.
We've been able to achieve our Renewed Hope Initiative food outreach scheme through two donors, one of whom chose to be anonymous. These two companies have chosen to be committed to supply food items on a monthly basis for the Renewed Hope Initiative for onward distribution.
Other critical stakeholders, including the wife of the state governor, Tobore Oboriwori, described the initiative as impactful.
Once again, I appreciate our mother for touching the lives of this vulnerable group in Delta State. It is our earnest prayer that your Renewed Hope Initiative will do smile on the faces of all Nigerians.
This partnership is one of those partnerships that we use to implement our social welfare interventions. We're partnering with the Renewed Hope Initiative. So Alhaji Atuman's vision for a better Nigeria involves us taking responsibility for solving our own problems.
I want to appreciate the ASR and the Renewed Hope Initiative for their kind gesture.
I'm grateful to God. Among hundreds of them outside, they have been one of the beneficiaries here. At least these are giving me a little bit relief to my family.
Since the inception of the Renewed Hope Initiative, it has continued to make significant progress in shaping the lives of Nigerians. In Asaba, Becky Greatman Chukwuka, NTA News.
Concerned persons are insisting that the National Orientation Agency must be strengthened to enable it in enlightening Nigerians on electoral offences. While on Good Morning Nigeria, the guest sought an independent institution that will enforce electoral offences. Details with Olushe Adiagbo.
One of the most fundamental that I think it's more observed in breach than anything else is voter inducement, what you call vote buying. The law doesn't call it vote buying, it's called voter inducement, or bribery of the electorate. That, I think, it's one of those things that we've not really been able to address effectively.
Oluwole Ozazi Ozi, former director, Lega on Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, there explaining electoral offences that compromise the electoral process and how the Electoral Act 2022 was battered after wide consultation, making it optimal. But while there are provision of offences and penalties stipulated in the law to mitigate hitches in Nigeria's election process, other guests on the program expressed worries over the alarming increase in the number of defaulters and highlight strategies to minimize electoral offences.
Law and order society is helpful, but there is a place for civic education, not voter education. Now, there are places where they have people they call civic educators, and that ordinarily should be located in what we call the National Orientation Agency. Institutions like this should be competing with the CNN of this world in terms of the resources that you put into this place.
The problem we have is implementation. If you do even a quarter of, according to what the law says, we will not have problem we're having in the system today. Politicians, the players are deliberately bypassing these provisions.
The players in Nigeria's election system were unanimous that the Electoral Act of 2022 as amended has significantly helped in reducing electoral offences and enhancing better organized elections in the country. They, however, note that full implementation of the Act will deliver more gains. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
That report concludes the news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Comfort Amodu.